What's up, guys? It's Kane with Crazy. Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be talking about Hershey Park. Here at number 13, we have Wild Mouse. The Wild Mouse is an intense coaster overall. This is terrible. It's really not very enjoyable. It's just like any other Wild Mouse coaster that's made. Other than the couple that you're spinning around, or like the one at Sierra Point where it's a completely different model. Other than that, the Wild Mouse is just plain and just a terrible ride overall. I got nothing else to say about it. You might disagree with some of the stuff on here, but we all certainly agree that the Wild Mouse deserves to be this low on the list. Here at number 12, we have Laugh Track. Laugh Track is just like the Wild Mouse, but a little bit different. The only thing that's different about it is that's just a completely overall different inside. Track layout is not identical, but it's almost close to one another. The only thing that's different is where you just spins. Other than that, it's not that fun to ride. Here at number 11, we have Jolly Rancher Remix. It might come for a shocker that some of you guys Jolly Rancher Remix might have been rated this low. It's like one of my friends got sick on it, first and foremost. Well, it's only there, I only rode it once. The line wasn't hectic when we went on it later in the day. It's just terrible. The only thing good about it is the theming. The way my friend got sick was the Fairvillain tunnel, as you can see at the bottom part of the video. It's just a boomerang coaster overall. What's really special about a boomerang coaster? Nothing. Nothing's very important about a boomerang coaster. It's cool how the support colors are different colors. From like going to pink to a light blue, then back to pink. With the double left tail for it. The boomerang's really nothing special for my heart. It's just interesting to say the least. But it should stay a Sidewinder instead of going to Jolly Rancher Remix, in my opinion. Overall, it was just another terrible experience on there. It wasn't rough or anything, but still, it wasn't enjoyable. Now we're in the top 10. Here for number 10, we have Super Duper Looper. The coolest part about the Super Duper Looper is the loop, as in the name. As for the Super Duper Looper itself, it's really just an interesting ride. I like the nature part of it. It could have been higher on my list, but it's like Hershey Park has a lot of good coasters. How are we going to compete with Super Duper Looper with the other good coasters? With the tunnel, everything, the loop, you don't even expect the loop. It's like you go up to the left tail, like, oh, we're going to conquer this loop. But the thing with Super Duper Looper, I believe it's either the first or second looping coaster built in the world. I know that one for a fact, but it's like interesting. Like, it ain't a loop now, as we see nowadays on a coaster. It's like more of a circular shape. It's interesting, and I like it. I don't know why more coasters can't be like Super Duper Looper, but it's like overall I had a pretty pleasant experience on it. We peer pressure my friend onto this one, and let's say he did not enjoy it, to say the least. He almost hated us after that one. But overall, if you're gonna go there with me, I will force you on this. That's how fun it is. Me and my other buds, we had a great time on it. It was very all enjoyable. But if it was at Sierra Point, Hershey Park, not Sierra Point, it could have been higher on the list. And if it was at Sierra Point, it would have been lower on the list, because Sierra Point has a heck of a ton of coasters too. Here at number 9, we have Trailblazer. Trailblazer is ranked number 9 because all the other coasters there were a little bit genuine and like little kid coasters, just like this one. It's like, you know the rule. Kid coasters really won't be ranked if I go to any other theme parks other than Kennywood. Because there's no point in riding kiddie coasters. Trailblazer is like a family coaster. Same thing with Super Duper Looper, but Trailblazer is just the inferior family coaster at Hershey Park overall. It's like glass move, as right now. Yeah, it's showing you the double helix. That's the funnest part. It's like very fun, smooth. I know there's barely any airtime, but it's like fun for all ages there. Here at number 8, we have Lightning Racer. It's not like your typical racing coaster at anywhere else at a theme park. Like the one in Kennywood, the Racer. Overall, it's like one continuous track. Was like here at the Hershey Park one, Lightning Racer, I got rode front row for it, first and foremost. Even though we lost on it, I only rode it once because I felt like it. I mean, it's a two-train thing. It runs double train on both sides. I mean, as you can see there's two trains going. Then have another two loading on the station. I mean, it was boring-ish. It could have been a little bit higher on my list, but it's still okay, but it's not the best. So I can generally say the Lightning Racer could be better, but also a little bit one of a better coaster too. I mean, it's overall, if RMC does go back to Hershey Park for to do a remodel, they should definitely remodel Lightning Racer to a RMC racing coaster. I want to see that. That might be cool if it does happen. I have to try my best to get back there as soon as I can and ride it, just to Wildcats Revenge at Hershey Park. I mean, it's fun too. Here at number 7, we have Comet. I mean, Comet is ranked right here on the list because Array, same thing with the other coasters, Array can't compete at Hershey Park. So Comet, I almost lost my head on it. That's quite funny in my opinion. I mean, it had a crazy ejector air time at the very end. I mean, it was quite funny, to say the least, when I was riding with my father. And then later on, I rode with my friend. Almost happened to me again at the same place. I almost knocked my head off coming into the brake run at the end. I mean, it was cool. There was these people called, I believe they're known as the theme park people. I don't know what their exact name is. If someone goes to Hershey Park, please comment down below what their name is. That's how I like it, and I'll probably remember it if you comment. Comet has a crazy injector airtime hill, as I said. I mean, their airtime is very crazy. As a 75-year-old coaster, man, that was a chef's kiss. I don't know how else do you put it together. I mean, it's very fun. It's not that far from the entrance. It's not that close to you. It's a perfect spot and everything for a coaster like that. I mean, it's first coaster I rode today. I mean, it definitely wasn't overhyped. It was definitely not underhyped. I well hyped it. And I feel it's just a very genuine coaster overall. I mean, it was just cool to say the least. I really enjoyed it. Here at number 6, we have Lightning Racer. I mean, Lightning Racer is cool. I mean, it's short. I mean, it could have been higher for a tad bit longer. But I feel putting this coaster lower on the list. But it's don't know why I have it up here. But it's so what? I mean, it goes from 0 to 72 in 2.1 seconds, I believe. But it's fun overall. I really do enjoy Lightning Racer. I mean, it's cool. It was fun. Me and my friends did a hands up challenge where you had to keep our hands up the full ride. I mean, it was the launch definitely startled me a little bit. I was whoa. You don't expect the launch coming at all. Not one bit. But it's I did a hands up challenge. I was probably the only person who surpassed it out of my friend group when we went there. I mean, the I don't know what the version called. I believe it's called a snake pit dive. I'm not sure, but it's that was the most intense part ever. Right there, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, that was insane. I loved it. And it's the end is kind of a little bit mid, if you know what I mean. Kind of mediocre for the people who don't understand what the word mid is. I mean, overall, it's just a weird but intense experience. Now we're in the top 5. For 5th place is Great Bear. I mean, it's my second inverted coaster. I mean, my first one was Manta down SeaWorld Orlando. That was fun. SeaWorld Orlando's Manta is on my top 10 list until it'd be taken down by something else. I mean, it's I definitely a little bit over the hype this coaster. I this coaster can be so much fun. But it's when I rode on it, it's definitely overhyped it a little bit. You know, I was trying to get front row seat on it. It might have been a little bit funner if I had front row seats, but we were staying tab it in the middle, closer to the backish. But it's really though, it wasn't that bad of an experience. I mean, the 0G roll definitely got me. That had crazy airtime off of that inversion where I sat at. Oh my god, man, that was insane. I couldn't explain that 4 words any day of the week. I was holy heck, man, that was fun. Definitely a coaster that I have to ride again if I do go. See if it goes higher or lower on my list. Number 4 is Candemonium. I mean, people might be wondering why Candemonium is ranked 4th when it could be higher ranked for them. But it's like, honestly, Candemonium was like, for me, it's like better if like it would have been to a different park. But it's like Candemonium, for people who don't know, it's actually made out of chocolate. But it's like interesting. I don't know how a chocolate coaster can be that good in 90 plus degree weather when I went there. I mean, like, I got to ride it twice. I mean, like, the first time I was waiting in line for front row, it broke down, like, in quotes, because a couple teenagers decided to be douchebags. And, like, said, oh, they're suffering wrong to suspension in the coaster. So, like, they closed it down for 10 minutes, checking, see if it would stay closed or what. Then it's like a hoax. And then I reopened. I had to wait a couple times before I could get first row seats on it. And about like an hour or so later, I went back on it again for the final time. And like the final ride before I left. Like, it was fun. The airtime was extreme. Everything. Like, for those of you who do go to Hershey Park and watching this video or something, do not do Candemonium first. It's a 3-hour wait in the goddamn morning when you get there. So whatever you do, please do not hit Candemonium first. That's coming from a person who went there and all their friends did ride that thing first. And I was the smart one who saw that 3-hour wait and just kind of like, let's go ride something else, like closer to the middle, to the back of the park. That's why I went to Comet first, because it wasn't that long of a line and the line was stayed long for most of the day. I guess it's like one of those suggestion wooden coasters, and it's like it won't get shorter during the day. The line was approximately stay the same time during the day, so that's why you hit Comet first, people, unless you buy the fast pass. Now we're in our top 3. Taking home the bronze medal will be Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit was a fun coaster. Like, for people who actually misunderstands this coaster, I mean, with the 90-degree lift tail and that 97-degree vertical drop, you cannot go wrong with this coaster. It was so much fun with the 6 inversions and everything. I mean, the day I went, I believe it was a 2-cart operation, which was a tad bit slower, which I rode front row seats on this one too. And it's like, honestly, it's a fun one. Like, as the video is showing you right now, that's how it actually was supported to going up the lift tail. So you might know some chain hills don't do that, but Fahrenheit does for safety precautions. As you'll see here in a little bit, the 97-degree vertical drop. Here it comes. Watch it. As for those of you, it may not look like it, but it's funner than it looks. I mean, like that inversion data show is like the only one here in North America, which I forget what it's called. I always call it a Norwegian roll, but it's like fun. Like, this coaster is overall very fun and very enjoyable, and to my liking, I love this coaster. And so if you do go to Hershey Park, make sure you do hit this coaster. And also, from Laugh Track was like one of the earlier coasters I said. Make sure you do Laugh Track closer when you get there, because that line tends to get long throughout the day. It ain't going to shorten anytime soon with their 6-car operation, 4 people per car. Taking home the silver medal will be Thigh Crush, aka Sky Rush. Sky Rush is the real name. People call it Thigh Crush because the lap bar supposedly hurts their thighs. I don't know why people start calling it that. It's like a weird trend as customer enthusiasts like to call it now. It's like people who don't understand it, now you understand why it's called Thigh Crush. But it's like, overall, it's fun. I mean, it's like I rode this 5 to 6 times, but like it wasn't superior enough to take down first place, honestly. But most of you probably know my first place by now, if you haven't already. It was like, the one time I rode it, I stayed on like the very right wing seat, and I was like beyond vertical with my body. Like, my body was like downside, and like my torso was like leaning to the right, almost touching my legs, from my head to my legs from the side. Don't know how I managed to do that on the coaster, but it's like intense. So therefore, the other 2 or 3 times I rode it, I was on the far left wing seat, and that wing seat was fun. Like, when I went there with my buds, And too, that was so much fun riding with them. It's like the next day, they told our coach, like, I had my hands up and everything. And they were, like, so scared for their life. And, like, my coach said, like, someone's passion might be something you don't like. So keep that in mind. You might have a passion on roller coasters, but people don't. So it's, like, interesting. You might like something that people don't, which you should know that. So keep that in mind. And peer pressure them. If you want them to do something, peer pressure their day out of them. As long as it's genuinely nice to you, it thinks it's a nice thing. Don't do like drugs and all that. It can end up doing terrible stuff to you. Once you start doing drugs, it's game over. Drugs control you. Taking home first place is Wildcats Revenge. As some of you may not come to a surprise, but some of you might probably didn't even know that Wildcats Revenge didn't even exist. Which I don't know how you want to know, because I just took home a golden ticket for the best new attraction of 2023. Like, this thing was smooth, wild, and intense all in once. RMC definitely did a good job creating a coaster. And this coaster really didn't disappoint. With their 4 inversions. I mean, the left tail starts off slow, then goes medium, then goes fast, which might catches you off guard. I rode this coaster twice within about maybe a 40-minute time mark. Like, I did this coaster back-to-back times, which was, like, fun, though. Like, don't blame me for riding this twice. For those of you who haven't rode it and you've been to Hershey Park and it hasn't been open, try to get there as soon as you can and ride it, because this coaster's going to be there for a while. And there's no point in stopping that coaster from closing down anytime soon. I'm just getting over some structural repairs, which it might be sad for some people to see it close if they go there. So it might be one of the reasons why you might show up and that coaster could be closed, which in that case, just try to go when it's open, like maybe a month or so later. And you do, please enjoy every second of it. I was just like intense. I was out of the seat for the full time. I don't know how and why it was like intense. This thing could honestly dethrone Steel Vengeance someday in my books. Steel Vengeance is also another RMC that got remodeled. Both of their remodels came off of terrible coasters that were rough and rocky. And people reportedly say they got like headaches and all that. So if you see this video and did get a headache from the original coasters, please let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, as it will make my day. Thank you and goodbye.